Well, I'm not usually prone to hyperbole, but I will go ahead and say this is the biggest series of the weekend in college baseball. It's a top 5 showdown. Number 4, Mississippi State, and second-ranked Vanderbilt as the Doors look to protect the home field here on Nashville's West End. The 2 of the best in the SEC. That means you're 2 of the best in the country. And you take a look at the top records in the league. There's a whole lot of talent there. Mississippi State trying to catch up with Arkansas in the West, but that would be a little bit tough to do. Welcome, everybody. I'm Tom Hart. He is Kyle Peterson. We are in Nashville for this thrilling matchup, and we get 2 teams, Kyle, who not only want to win this series, of course, but their designs are much greater than that. A couple of national championship contenders.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get 2 of the favorites to go to Omaha right now, and 2 teams that know each other very well. In Vanderbilt, we talk about the 1-2 punch in this, and we'll see Kumar Rocker tonight. And for Mississippi State, maybe as balanced a team as we have in the SEC, so it lends itself to a great matchup this weekend.
State's got its own 1-2 punch right at the top of the batting order. Rowdy Jordan, the leadoff man, and Tanner Allen hitting second. These guys can rake.
They have, and they've been doing it for a while. Rowdy Jordan, slow starter, did it again this year. Now lately, Jordan has been outstanding. Both of them over 400 here in the last 10 games, right at the top of the state lineup.
And they face an ace tonight. Vandy's ace, maybe the best pitcher in the country. Kumar Rocker, what do you got on him?
He's pretty good at baseball, and he's been good at baseball for the last 3 years. 8 punch-outs against Tennessee, and kind of a bounce-back start against Georgia. Rocker's given up 10 earned runs this season. 6 were against Georgia, where he gave up 3 home runs last weekend, 7 innings, 2 hits, punched out 8, got the win against Tennessee.
A whip of .80. That's walks and hits per innings pitched for the uninitiated. Vandy in the pinstripes in this one. Rocker's got the high tops rocking, and he will start with Rowdy Jordan. Jordan, by the way, has put up impressive numbers all season, but this is the one that jumps out to me, KP. He is at his best against the best. He is hitting .339 against ranked opponents this season. That is 25 points higher than his overall season average.
Knows his way around this league, that's for sure. Jordan out in center field, took over that position after Jake Mangum was drafted just a few years ago.
97 early from Rocker.
First 3 pitches of the game, 98, 97, 96. I'd say the dead arm phase that Kumar Rocker went through a few weeks ago, I think he's over that right now. The fastball's got good carry early.
60 degrees and cloudy tonight. Not much of a breeze here in the West End, and the first breaking ball stays up. 2-2. This one's driven high and deep to right center field. Isaiah Thomas won't get there in time and hops up and over the fence for an automatic double for Rowdy Jordan. 199th career hit.
He's going elevated fastball the entire time. Jordan swung through the one before this, took a breaking ball out of the zone, then one that catches enough of the zone. Jordan double to left to get things started for State.
Here's a look at the batting order for Mississippi State. They come in hitting .281 as a team with 42 home runs. .28 and 8 in the season. State has won 11 of its last 12. First pitch of Tanner Allen misses low. Fastball just missed. Not sure where. 97. Zach Neff is the man behind the plate calling balls and strikes.
Must have been just a tick off. CJ Rodriguez sitting in her third right there, had to move to get to the outside of it. It sounds loud, man. Like this sound. I mean, we got a little energy in the ballpark tonight.
Tim Corbin went to social media to ask for it. Ask and ye shall receive. Allen touches this one into center field. Bradfield has space. And going from second to third is Rowdy Jordan on the deep fly ball.
First changeup of the game right there from Kumar Rocker, and we may see a few more of those than we're used to seeing from Rocker today. The slider obviously is the big swing and miss pitch a few years ago when he threw the no-hitter against Duke, punched out 19, all 19 on that slider. But 6 of the 9 hitters in this Mississippi State lineup will come up from the left side against Rocker, so we could see that changeup a little bit more tonight.
Little chopper to the left side. That'll get a run home. And Carter Young takes care of it. Productive out for Cameron James, who drives in his 40th.
Get him over, get him in right here. Deep enough fly ball to center field off the bat of Tanneralla. Gets Rowdy Jordan to third. And then the freshman Cameron James, who I think is, by the time he's done, is going to be one of the best hitters in the SEC, does his job. Breaking ball, ground ball against an infield that was playing at normal depth. Jordan scores easily for the first run.
First pitch swinging, Luke Hancock into shallow left field. Cooper Davis. First man on, first man in. Mississippi State leads Vandy as we go to the home half of the first. 1-0 Mississippi State, home half of the first inning from Hawkins Field. Side of a top 5 showdown this weekend. Christian McLeod will get things started for State, 3-2 with the 2.83s. He makes his 10th start of the year.
Another guy that knows his way around the league a little bit. McLeod in his 3rd year, but still a freshman. Would look at him by class. 3-2 with a 2.83, and the strikeout numbers not as many as Kumar Rocker, in part because the pure stuff isn't quite that. You can see a fastball right around 90, a good breaking ball and a changeup from McLeod, but control is something that he's been very good at this year. It's his Vanderbilt lineup that shows you a little bit of everything. Jack Bulger, the DH, has been outstanding within the SEC, and if Enrique Bradfield Jr. gets on, he's not going to stay at first base very long. 28 of 30 on the year in stolen bases.
Bradfield's coming off of a 3-for-12 series against Tennessee last weekend. What a series that was. Vanderbilt through the ire of the UT fans. It was intense 3-game set, and the Doors took games 1 and 3 of that one, slugged their way past Tennessee 10-4 in the 3rd game. Bradfield got hot after struggling. McLeod misses low. 6'4", 227 out of Huntsville, Alabama. And the curveball is lifted into right center field. Rowdy Jordan has it. One down with Carter Young coming up.
Shortstop, number 9, Carter Young.
Carter Young has found his hole in the 2 spot in this Vandy batting order. He's the only Commodore to start every game and be in the same spot. One of his 9 home runs this season came in the weekend series against Tennessee. 1-1 now.
This is one they're pretty excited about now. Young, just a sophomore. Some swing and miss. That's the only hole that you would really look at in the offensive resume this year. But 9 home runs at that shortstop position, came in hitting right at 300.
This could be a tight zone, maybe.
Logan Tanner doesn't try to bring it back much. That one's really close, and he didn't try to bring that one back much at all.
And this one's pulled down the left field line, and it is hooked foul. Did you hear it? Did you hear it hit the roof?
Bounce around a little bit up there. Go grab it. I think you probably get a free popcorn. Jump up on the roof, grab it, run down the concession stand. I'll see you in a minute.
Shift is on. The 2-2 is a curveball in for strike 3. What a start.
Christian McLeod showing you a little bit of everything so far. That fastball's been right at 90. A few changeups in this at bat to Carter Young, then finishes him with that big breaking ball. Guys are going to give up on this one, and it's got a lot more north to south break than most are used to seeing. It is an old school breaking ball, and that one in there for the first strikeout of the game for McLeod.
Vandy's 3-hole hitter Dominic Keegan might be their hottest hitter in the lineup right now. He's hitting .450 over his last 5 games with a home run, and his OPS now is nearly at 1,200 on the year. Had to deal with some COVID issues early in the season, but came back raring to go. We'll talk about it a little further in depth once we get onto linear television, but I think it's interesting, KP, that a guy like Dominic Keegan has kind of out of the spotlight as great as his season has been because of the attention to Leiter and Rocker. And McLeod is trying to grab that spotlight for himself tonight. He Ks 2 in the first. He's got a 1-run lead as we head to the second in Nashville. And we welcome those of you who watch a thrilling softball game. A.J. Puck's sister Jessica scores a game winner for Ole Miss. We are in Nashville over on the West End for a top 5 showdown. Mississippi State leads Vanderbilt 1-0 as we move to the top of the second inning. Tom Hart alongside Kyle Peterson. Chris Lemonis in his 3rd season at Mississippi State, and he is coaching in this ballpark in a series that has been full of games that matter the most. The last 5 meetings between these programs have been all in the postseason. Kumar Rocker gave up a run on a double and a manufactured run in the first inning, but he only needed 10 pitches to get through the opening frame. And he gets Logan Tanner to pop out to short. 19th season at Vandy for Tim Corbin. Couple national titles and a .682 winning percentage. Scotty DeBrule coming to the plate. KP, you spent some time with Corbs this week. What is his mood about this team?
I think he's excited. I mean, they still don't have everybody back. Tate Colwick still hurt, went down with a hamate issue just a few weeks ago, and they think they'll probably could get him back this weekend, but should get him back in the next few weeks. And then it's just mix and match. But I mean, the offense has some depth to it. If there is a question, I think it's bullpen depth. Just where exactly do you go in the bullpen? There's no question about first and second nights of a series, though, when you're throwing Rocker and Leiter out there.
Yeah, 2 of their 6 losses have occurred when they held a lead going into the 8th inning. An embarrassment of riches in the rotation, as you mentioned. Rocker tonight, and we'll see Leiter tomorrow night. The veteran DeBrule pushes this one into right field, where Isaiah Thomas awaits. 2 down, and now 5 straight retired after the leadoff double by Rowdy Jordan.
Now batting.
5 outs so far in the game by Rocker. 4 fly ball outs and a ground ball out. Hasn't struck anybody out yet. That time the breaking ball to DeBrule. He'll show you 2. Early in the count, it's a little bit more of a it's a really good get me over, but more of a get me over. Won't have quite as much break, and then adds more break to it and plus counts.
Left fielder Braylon Skinner. That one almost hit them. It almost hit the bull.
If you're going to hit the bull, you might as well do it throwing 97. that one looks better. Whether you throw it over the top of the backstop or miss by an inch, it still only counts as 1 ball.
Braylon Skinner's thinking, you kidding me? I got to dig back in against 98 after that?
Then he just dots one on the outside part of the plate.
Ball and a strike to Skinner. And he swings and misses at that breaking ball.
Now you can go about wherever you want when you see this action. Fastball got him to 1-1, and the breaking ball, Mr. Skinner didn't really like the look of that one. I think we just might see it again.
Indeed, that one for a punch out. Rocker has retired 6 straight after that double. KP looks hot tonight.
Little emotion after this one, too. First strike of the day is a backdoor breaking ball, leadoff double. Rowdy Jordan came around to score, retired the next 6. It's 1-0 State early.
Fourth-ranked Mississippi State on the road at Vandy, game one of this 3-game series. Heart of the order due up for Vandy: Bulger, Rodriguez, and Parker Nolan. It's a Vandy team whose offense kind of lives in the shadow behind those two great starting pitchers. 11th in the country in batting average, 5th in the nation in doubles. Bulger, big freshman, 6 feet 210. There's curves in his pinstripes, and 3 of his 4 home runs have come in conference play. Upstairs, letter high to Bulger this time. Bulger is a freshman from DeMatha, known as a basketball school for good reason. Hall of Famer Morgan Wooten was a longtime coach there, and he coached some superstars. Bulger might be a star in his own right. The likes on the baseball field, like Victor Oladipo or Markelle Fultz, who went #1 overall, or old schoolers remember Adrian Dantley and my buddy Adrian Branch and Danny Ferry. That's a lot of dudes from one school.
That it is.
1-2 to Bulger. Tipped it into the catcher's mitt. Christian McLeod has struck out the last 3. If you're starting on a Friday night in the SEC, you're legit, and McLeod going toe-to-toe with Rocker.
Listen, man, if you're on the other side and you're pitching against Rocker, you know that there's just not a lot of room for error. And McLeod used to throwing on Friday nights in this league. It's different when you're facing Kumar Rocker. It's different when you're facing Jack Leiter, and he has been sharp so far. Struck out 3 of the first 4.
C.J. Rodriguez swings at the first. He now has a 19-game on-base streak. And the first hit of the game for the Doors is a 1-out single.
He's maybe been the most unheralded or under. What word am I looking for, Hart?
Underappreciated?
Underappreciated in this offensive lineup. The more that I watch C.J. Rodriguez back behind the plate and at the plate, I think this is a kid that's going to find his way to the big leagues. And if you can handle these 2 starters on Friday and Saturday night, you can catch anybody.
This is Parker Nolan. He's a Knoxville native. Went back home last weekend. Had a 2-for-12 series against Tennessee. McLeod behind in the count. That's a rarity. 1-0 to Nolan. '31st round pick of the Marlins in 2019, coming out of Farragut High School. Curveball in for a strike.
Give me the Farragut High School NBA player.
Ooh, I don't know. You got him?
Really?
No.
Kevin Garnett.
Different Farragut, but yes.
I'm still staying with Farragut. A Farragut High School NBAer is Kevin Garnett.
Fair. You mentioned the fact that you get a chance to pitch not just on Friday night, but opposite Kumar Rocker. What are the feelings for Christian McLeod, and what are the emotions? Is it just being a competitor, or is it being opportunistic?
I think it's yes to both. I mean, you know that you're going to have to dial it up on a night like this because he's just not going to give up many. But the other is, this is why you go there, is for environments like this. Not just to pitch on Friday nights, but to pitch on Friday nights against one of the best teams in the entire country. So, yeah, and McLeod's heartbeat fits it too, man. He's not worried about lighting a radar gun up. He understands who he is. He's an 87 and 91 mile an hour left-hander that can throw 3 at any time, and so far those 3 have looked pretty good.
Nolan has been prone to strikeouts. He's K'd 41 times this season. That's 9th most in the SEC. After being ahead in the count, now it's full.
State went late to the shift right here too, with 2 strikes, put the shift on.
Rodriguez a runner at first. They'll throw over there. Not a runner. He's a catcher. He only has 1 bag on the year. This is a strikeout staff for State. They have a school record double-digit strikeout streak of 16 consecutive games. And they're on the same pace tonight. 4th K for McLeod as Nolan goes down looking.
Second time in this ball game that high breaking ball that most guys are going to give up on is called a strike. And You're not always going to see this one called a strike. A good job by Logan Tanner to let it travel, too. Don't go get that one. You want to wait as long as you possibly can to catch it. 4 strikeouts, 4 of the 5 outs in this game so far from McLeod via the strikeout.
So with 2 down, this is Isaiah Thomas, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida native, and he waves at the off-speed pitch, starting with a change. 39th round pick of the Rockies in 2018. Nothing in 2.
Back to back right there. If you're McLeod, I don't know if there's any reason to go away from it. Maybe you elevate a fastball that's one that's a little bit non-competitive just to speed his eyes up a little bit. But Thomas, who was prone to the strikeout, 35 strikeouts this year, did not look comfy with the change. Here comes the change.
Where does he want to locate it, or does it matter?
I mean, you don't want to throw a strike. Where the 0-1 pitch was, show me that one again. So start it at the knees, maybe a little bit lower, and just let that thing move down and off the plate. And if he takes it, I'd throw it again and challenge him to take it twice.
Swing and a miss. Another K. He struck out 5 through 2.
Got them all working tonight. Gave up the 1-out single to C.J. Rodriguez, but blew the fastball past Jack Bolger to start. High breaking ball to Parker Noland, and the changeup to Thomas. 3 strikeouts on 3 different pitches. 5 in a game from McLeod.
SEC Network had the second game of a big 3-game series between number 19 Mizzou and 6th ranked Arkansas. They'll finish up the series Monday on the SEC Network. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Fly ball into center field. Whoa! Enrique Bradfield put on a cape. This dude's got 6'2", 660 speed, and he just showed it off.
He could show you some wow now. Watch this break, too. Dead straight in, and maybe helps a little bit to be left-handed. Easier to get that glove side to it. The fist bump by the freshman center fielder. I love it. 28 stolen bags on the year. I gave him a few extra early, but he has stolen some thoughts of extra bases plenty of times this year. That was one of them.
Tim Corbin said what stands out about his defense is there are no false steps. He doesn't make false breaks. It's not just his speed, it's his routes. And his high school coach was a major league teammate of Kenny Lofton, and he said, I saw Kenny Lofton in Enrique Bradfield when he was a youngster. Great article by Adam Sparks in the Tennessean today.
That's a really good comp. Really good comp. I mean, center fielder that can really defend, can absolutely fly. Just a freshman, too. Leading the SEC in stolen bases by a ton.
1-2 pitch on the way to Hatcher. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Rocker.
Center fielder, number 4, Ronnie Jordan.
Looks like a changeup right there from Kumar Rocker. 84 miles an hour. Almost looked like a split when it was coming in towards home plate, but had good away action from Hatcher.
Rowdy Jordan has the lone hit early on for Mississippi State. He got behind in the count to start this game, and then he ripped a double to right field. It was his 199th career hit.
There's the change. There was some, I would say, people noticed that the fastball, excuse me, the fastball was down a few ticks for Kumar a few weeks ago against Missouri. Fastball's back. I mean, he's been as high as 98. He's lived 95 to 97 in this game.
Tap to the left side. That one's got eyes, and Young can only knock it down. Rowdy Jordan is 2 for 2 in this game. He came in hitting nearly .340 against top 25 opponents. That number's going up.
This is just some hit luck right here now. I mean, about halfway through that swing, he wasn't quite sure if he wanted to do it, but defense just had him shaded up the middle. Nothing Carter Young can do right there. Jordan double in the first, now 1-out single here in the third.
That swing was as short as Tanner Allen's baseball pants.
Culottes. It's the culottes. That's what they are, man.
The late Payne Stewart called, and he said those pants are short. Nobody on Mississippi State hits the ball as hard as Tanner Allen does. Average exit velocity over 90 miles an hour. Hit one earlier, 109. To the bulging wall. And a runner stranded. No runs, a hit, one left. We got a pitcher's duel. This is a lot of fun on a Friday night in Music City. State Vandy is used to seeing numbers next to the names on the schedule. Back-to-back top 5 opponents for the first time since 2016. Here's a look at their gauntlet. They took 2 out of 3 on the road at Tennessee last weekend. Florida's on deck, and they got a midweek against Louisville. That's 10 of 11 against top 15 teams.
And that number 15 next to Florida, they were consensus number 1 across the country to start the season. So may look like the easier of the 4 weekends, but the Gators starting to put it together right now.
Here's Cooper Davis to lead off the third. 8-hole hitter for Vanderbilt. They have 1 hit so far in this game against Christian McLeod, who has used everything so far, including the breaking ball. He's ahead in the count to Davis. This has turned into a thrilling series over the years. 125th meeting between these two programs, and their last 5 have come in the postseason. Super Regional, Hoover, Omaha. It just seems like every time they get together, the game matters.
About that sequence right there. Go 3 straight breaking balls, and then he had Cooper Davis frozen right here. I think he was looking breaking ball away. That one missed. Didn't miss by much, just off the plate right there.
All right, so this is a tight zone side to side, but there's some room up, it seems like. And there's another punch out. Strikeout number 6 for McLeod.
He is rolling right now, man. Left on left. It just dots the fastball right there. Just missed with the pitch before it. Now comes back. Doubles up with the same one. 6 punch outs out of 7 outs so far for McLeod.
This is Jason Gonzalez. 6 home runs on the season. 2 of them came against Tennessee last weekend. By the way, there are a lot of folks who saw this Mississippi State team play last weekend in person. At the Dude, over 3 games, they drew 34,151. The Yankees, over the same span against the Rays, drew 31,391.
I'd have rather been at the Dude. I'll tell you that.
I'm with you.
That was a pretty good environment on TV.
1-1 to Gonzalez. Curveball in for a strike. How do McLeod's pitches work off of each other?
I think the biggest thing is offensively, you can't go up there and look for anything because he'll throw anything at any time, and he'll throw it on both sides of the plate.
Strikeout number 7.
And the other thing is he's not afraid to challenge with that fastball, even though he's only going to show you 90-91. And the reason the fastball plays up is because of the other 2. When you can drop a breaking ball in there when you want to, the right-handers have to be aware of the changeup. Now 90-91 starts to look like a little bit more. That one got on top of Gonzalez.
Back to the top of the order, and Enrique Bradfield. I mentioned the Adam Sparks story from the Tennessee, and in that story he talked about Enrique struggling going into the Tennessee series. He was in a 4-for-29 slump at one point. His dad knew the answer. Enrique Bradfield Sr. sent him a clip from Major League. Could you guess which one? It was Pedro Serrano, and his voodoo doll Joe Boo.
Hats for bats.
Enrique went 2 for 3 the next game. Two and 1. Bradfield leads the country in stolen bases, 26 of 28. That's a consistent strike zone. Side to side, 3-1 now. Trey Turner, the last freshman to lead the country in swipes, and A 2-out walk means things change for McLeod here. He was a menace last week against the Volunteers.
Said you manufacture a run, by the way. Breakable on the outside part of the plate, steals third with a left-handed hitter up there, and then I don't know if I've ever seen a sac fly that's 130 feet away from home plate. But Bradfield scored on that one. Vanderbilt took 2 out of 3 in Knoxville.
Here's Carter Young. He homered last weekend. One of his 4 hits. It seemed to me, and you and I talked about it before that series started, that Vanderbilt made that 3-hour drive over to Knoxville and they relished the attention that was on them. They relished the environment that they were presented to play in as the visitors.
100%. 100%, especially after coming off the weekend against Georgia where they lost their first series of the year. Georgia came in and punched them in the mouth. Then you got to bounce back and go to Knoxville, and then you got State coming into town. But yeah, that was one that I'm sure they were ready for, and Tennessee was too. I mean, Tennessee showed out fine in that one. Just 2 really good teams.
Logan Tanner behind the plate has thrown out 50% of would-be base runners. That is an incredible number in college baseball. And that pitch just off. Now 3-0 to the 2-hole hitter Carter Young. Back in there for a strike, 3-1.
Little generous, but not much. Actually, I think Zach Neff had a really good zone tonight. Breaking balls that are high that a lot of guys don't call for strikes, but they are strikes. He's called a few of those.
Two outs in the inning, 2-hole hitter due up. As a pitcher, what's your thought process with Bradfield at first?
We still got to execute the pitch. I mean, it's against the left-hander. You got a little bit of an advantage. I don't think he's running here 3-1 with the lefty. I think they may hold him, which means he's probably absolutely running. But it feels like he may be staying put right here. The course of the season against McLeod, base runners just 3 of 7 in stolen base attempts. Tanner's thrown out 50%. He's thrown out 8 of 16.
There he goes. Pitches high, deep left field. Skinner has space. Oh my goodness, he almost lost it. Jordan was there to back him up, and a late recovery for Skinner. That was a roller coaster ride.
Hey, now give Braylon Skinner some credit for hanging in there, because I think Rowdy Jordan called him off right here, but he stayed put. He didn't get too far out of the way, makes what looks to be a routine play and get out of the inning.
Braylon Skinner to end the third with Enrique Bradfield running the bases.
I think you're right, Hart. First glance, I thought Rowdy was calling him off, but I think it was because Skinner just couldn't find it. Those arms went out for just a minute. It may have got above the lights, but then he came back and found it at the end.
Ooh, Cameron James did not find that. He was sitting fastball, got the breaking ball, count 0-1 to James, who drove in a run with a ground out in the first. He had a 4-ribby game. Game 1 of the Ole Miss series included a huge home run against Gunnar Hoagland in the 4th inning. Also had a couple of sac flies. Eight home runs in the season for James. Fastball right down Broadway, 1-2.
Do a whole lot of things right here, because he slowed him down, and sped him up right there. Elevate the fastball or finish him with a breaking ball. Good take. Two to one strikes to balls tonight for Rocker.
2-2 pitch. Swung at the breaking ball again. They'll have to throw down to first to finish it off. And Rocker's caved 3.
The designated hitter,
James took the last one that was in this spot. A breaking ball in the exact same spot. This one, though, couldn't hold up. That all the way out in front. C.J. Rodriguez blocks it and keeps it close. Third strikeout of the game for Kumar.
Here's Luke Hancock, 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. You still good with that strike zone?
I am. Yeah, it's not big, but I think it's been very consistent all night.
0-1. Back to the same spot, fouled off by Hancock. Hancock's earned a scholarship by getting on base, 6th in the league with 28 walks. He's only struck out 9 times in 150 plate appearances. Fly ball into left center. Davis didn't have the same issues with the lights here at his home ballpark. 2 down.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, catcher number 19, Logan Tanner.
Here's Logan Tanner. Out of George County High School, Lucedale, Mississippi. He has been sensational defensively this season. Breaking ball from Rocker stays high. Last year he was top 10 among SEC freshmen in home runs, walks, on base, and slugging. 1-1.
Cutter there. Haven't seen that a whole lot from Rocker, but that one, the cutter at 89. Not as much depth, not as much movement, but that is a real cutter. Different than the slider. Doesn't have nearly the top to bottom, but you can use it to even a count out. It's not necessarily a swing and miss pitch, even though he got it there. It's more of a keep it in the zone, try to steal a strike pitch. Is it again?
Keegan will handle it. It's another 1-2-3 frame, but it's the longest inning for Rocker so far. He's only needed 42 pitches through 4. Heart of the order due up for the Doors. Spring football on SEC Network Plus. Ignore that top one. South Carolina moved their game to Sunday because of impending weather. A&M will come your way 2 o'clock Eastern. Tennessee's orange and white game at 4 Eastern, and Ole Miss the Grove Ball after Lane Kiffin threw out the first pitch tonight. That's 5 Eastern, 4 Central. To get SEC Network Plus, go to secnetwork.com or download the ESPN app. Dominic Keegan due up to start the 4th. You know who's getting a lot of run on the SEC Network this spring?
Who you got?
The Stags of Fairfield.
24-0 Stags.
True. Jeremy Mills would like me to correct you, though. Officially 23-0. The NCAA doesn't recognize their win by forfeit over St. Peter's. Just to be technically accurate, but they are undefeated. They have the #1 RPI in the country. They play in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, even though they haven't played a single non-conference game. 2-0 to Keegan. Misses low. Another 3-ball count from Christian McLeod. The last team to go undefeated in conference play was Alabama State, the SWAC, in 2016. That was only a 24-game schedule. Three and 1.
Stags have played 34 this year, all in league.
So what does the selection committee do with Fairfield?
I don't know. I think that's an interesting. It will be an interesting situation. I mean, never before in the history of this sport, at least, Jeremy, if you're listening, hit me if I'm wrong, is a #1 RPI not been a national seed, and definitely #1 RPI not hosted. If they went out, I think it's right where they stay.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but there is no historical precedence for. I don't think they're not going to be a national seed, and I don't think they're going to host. But
well, there's no historical precedence for the impact of a global pandemic on the road to Omaha, unless they had roads to Omaha in 1918. We weren't aware of. Keegan draws a leadoff walk after being ahead in the count 3-0. What's going on with McLeod? A handful of 3-ball counts here over the last 3 or 4 batters.
Just some misfires with the fastball. Literally got behind in both of those counts and then couldn't come all the way back. Walked Bradfield with 2 outs in the third. Now the leadoff walk to Keegan. Vanderbilt really hasn't hit a ball hard. I mean, Rodriguez's single to right center was kind of off the end of the bat. Carter Young flew out to left field. Besides that, all strikeouts for the outs.
Jack Bolger has had quite a run in conference play, and he looks at a curveball for a strike. He is 7 for his last 12 at the plate. Keegan has not attempted a stolen base this season. Check swing. Did he go? Did not. It is Clint Fagan down the first base line.
Okay, so it creates a, we're talking RPI, number 1 RPI. Louisville's RPI is still in the 50s, and they got a chance to win the ACC. And even if they win out, that RPI is not going to get lower than 25 or so. So if there is a year, if you're the selection committee, that you can point to the RPI and say, listen, we're not really paying attention to it. This is the year you're hoping that's the case if you're Louisville. Because at this point, it looks like the only chance that they can get a national seed is if that is the approach.
In your mind, does Louisville deserve a national seed based on their non-conference?
Let's wait a few weeks. They just beat Kentucky the other day. They got Vanderbilt coming up in 2 weeks. That non-conference starts to look a little bit different. The control of McLeod has started to look a little bit different. He was dialed in the first time through the order. Now the second time through the order, 2 walks, a fly out to left, and now a 3-1 count to Bolger.
Bolger struck out swinging his first time. Time granted. McLeod didn't see it just yet.
To your point, no. I mean, besides Louisville plays Kentucky twice, they play Vanderbilt once. Besides that, their non-conference has not been strong at all.
There's ball 4, and Vanderbilt is in business. First 2 reach via walks from Christian McLeod. This is after first trip through the lineup. He struck out 7 and only allowed 1 hit. Second trip through, thus far, 3 walks and a flyout. Here's C.J. Rodriguez. Sophomore from Newport Beach, California. And a breaking ball falls in for a strike. Didn't miss the Whistler. Curveball laced to left field. It is caught by Skinner, then dropped right off of his glove. He was there. Keegan around third to score. Bolger makes it to second. It's been an adventure in left field for Skinner. It came into this game without an error on the season.
This one, man, knuckled. C.J. Rodriguez hit it so hard. It is straight at Skinner, and here's the deal. If he catches that, that's a double play. Because Keegan was off and running. If he's not off and running, there's no chance he scores. But he was basically to third base. So walk, and then a laser to left right there off the bat of Rodriguez ties it up for Vandy here in the 4th, still with nobody out.
Parker Nolan will come up after striking out, and there'll be a visit to the mound. Go ahead.
Scott Foxhall, the pitching coach, out right now, and this is one of those where you look the first time through the order, you're thinking, man, this could be a special night. Punch out 7, all 3 working, pounded the zone, and it is looked like a different guy the second time through the order. 3 walks, and then the hardest hit ball of the game right there off the bat of Rodriguez.
Official scoring a single for Rodriguez. It'll be an RBI. And here's Parker Nolan. Squares early and missed the curveball. Have you seen a change in Vanderbilt's approach second time through?
No, not really. I mean, McLeod just hadn't thrown that many strikes. They've been able to just sit and wait. 3 of the 5 guys have walked. That a good breaking ball there to Nolan.
Squares again,
Yes,
misses again.
Vandy, a team that still sack bunts a fair amount. 18 sack bunts on the season for Vandy as opposed to just 6 from Mississippi State. Nolan's done it 3 times, but has not looked comfortable trying to bunt either one of those first 2 breaking balls. If you're McLeod, he's going to see it again.
Fouls it off. It's a varied Vanderbilt attack. They've got pop. They obviously have speed. They've got speed at different slots in the lineup too. And they got guys who can handle the bat. You mentioned the sacks. Cooper Davis has 5 of them down in the 8 hole. Oh, 2 on the way. Vanderbilt came into this weekend 5th in the SEC in home runs, yet they only get 35% of their offense from home runs. Fastball misses inside, 2-2. They're not overly reliant on it. At the other end of the spectrum, South Carolina is at 40%. Well, Ole Miss and Missouri down at 24%. Another breaking ball. This one will stay fair down the line, and Hatcher handles it. Both runners advance. Bolger ends up at third, and Rodriguez behind him at second.
You'd take that outcome if you were trying to bunt him over the first 2 times. Nolan couldn't get it down. That time a breaking ball, rollover ground ball, not hit hard enough to go anywhere. Hatcher just has to take it and step on first. And Vandy with 2 in scoring position here with 1 out.
So here's Isaiah Thomas. Struck out his first time up. Swings at the first, punches it through the middle. Bolger has scored. C.J. Rodriguez around third. He'll cross the plate, and Vanderbilt has taken the lead on in the 4th, thanks to a pair of leadoff walks.
First at bat of the ball game, Thomas struck out on changeups and did not look comfortable in them at all. McLeod really exposed him when he saw it, and they're trying to go right back to it here. Credit Thomas for making a 1-at-bat adjustment because he was looking first pitch changeup and got it. Drives it right back up the middle and gives Vandy their first lead of the game.
First 3 batters of this inning, walk, single. They've all come home to roost. 8-hole hitter Cooper Davis. Senior from Mississauga, Ontario. Played on the Canadian Junior National under-18 team 3 different times. (2-0). Now 3-0. Nobody stirring in the state pen. This will be his 25th pitch of the inning. The Canadian junior national team does something pretty cool every year. They go down to spring training, Major League spring training, and they take part in the Dominican Summer League. And he got a chance to play against the Blue Jays in a spring training contest, got a base hit and a stolen base, and eventually the Blue Jays drafted him out of high school with their 25th round pick in 2017. Pretty awesome opportunity. Stone Simmons chasing a ball around back there.
One of two seniors in this Vanderbilt lineup, Davis and Jason Gonzalez, hit 8-9.
Not much foul territory down there, and it will be out of play. If McLeod wants to stick around, he's got to handle the bottom of the order. Davis just won for his last 12 with 6 strikeouts. And he walked it. Fourth walk of the game for Christian McLeod, and here's the 9-hole hitter, Jason Gonzalez.
First time through this order, 7 strikeouts, a fly out, and a single. Second time through this order, 4 walks, 2 hits, and he's given up 3 runs.
He struck out Gonzalez in the 3rd. That's the most recent strikeout. And he swings at the 1st and pokes it foul. That was a 340-foot foul ball.
Gonzalez is a grown man now, and he will show you some grown man home runs too. Probably the best pure, just raw power of anybody on the field right now.
And he pounds it in the ground on the left side. Forsythe goes to 3rd. Oh, that one sure James had the footwork to beat him, but tap dance on top of the pillow. And there's 2 down.
Pretty good presence of mind right there by Forsythe. Now he's playing deep in the 6th hole anyway. Goes that way. Doesn't backhand it. Goes with the forehand. You may want to peek at that one again now. You were right the first time. The right foot is on there early, but does it come off before he makes the play? I don't think he got there. I think he pulled his right foot up, not thinking it was on the base. I think Thomas was safe. Watch this, right foot there. Now watch it come up before he catches it. It's all in the same move. And when you're peeking down right there, he's peeking down to try to find a bag, but the call will stand.
Too late to look at it now. It's usually a good indication if the fielder goes back to touch the base a second time that he didn't think he touched it the first time. Here's Bradfield, 8th batter of the inning for Vandy. It's already a season high in walks from Christian McLeod. The first was to Bradfield to start in the 3rd, pardon me. It'll at least be an 80 pitch outing at the point of the 4th. He threw 85 against Ole Miss last week.
Ooh. That one you wanted. And he may have got it in the first 3 innings, but he's been so misfire here the last inning and change that one called a ball right there and another 3-1 count.
Line drive, right field, base hit. Davis scrambling home. And Vandy is able to add to its advantage and an RBI single from Enrique Bradfield.
Freshman can really hit, and he just knows how to get himself on base. Walked in the third. Now this time gets one to inner half and elevated. Tanner Allen, not a great arm out there in right field. Davis scores easily. Fourth run of the inning for Vandy. 17th RBI of the season for Enrique Bradfield Jr.
A little emotion there from Enrique. That'll be it for Christian McLeod. We'll tell you about the new man after McLeod exits after a laborious fourth. Been a lot earlier than they expected, or that they thought even after this game started. It's a 10th appearance of the season for Stone Simmons, 1-0 with an ERA north of 5. He has struck out 15 and only walked 3 in 10 2/3.
COVID freshman that started his career at Furman, and he was a Friday night starter for the Paladins, but Furman does away with their baseball program. Simmons finds his way to Mississippi State and has worked primarily out of the bullpen, but there's starter pedigree there. If your state right here, you'd like 3 or 4 innings and see if Simmons can throw a few zeros up the offense to get you back in it, because you don't want to burn a lot out of this bullpen day one, especially when you're down.
Mentioned he started at Furman, but he's got a Mississippi State family. His grandma, uncle, and cousin all attended State.
Shortstop number 9, Carter Young.
Carter Young's the 9th batter of the inning for for Vanderbilt. Excuse me. The Doors have pushed 3 runs across on a couple of hits, and thanks to 4 walks. Carter Young 0 for 2, struck out looking at a Christian McLeod curveball in the first. Outside of a March 5th start against Kent State, this ties for the second shortest outing of the season for McLeod. He also lasted just 3 2/3 against Arkansas when they tagged him for 5 runs and 6 hits, including, and that one a much different setup, 4 home runs.
In the first 3 innings, he looked like he may breeze through 9. Comes out here in the fourth, goes walk, single, hits an out, then single, walk, fielder's choice single, and his night's over. First 3 innings, easy as can be. He got 2 outs after that.
Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. But Vandy sends 9 to the plate in the fourth. They chase Christian McLeod. They've gifted Kumar Rocker a 3-run lead. One of the best regionals or supers we remember came in 2018 when Elijah McNamee hit a walk-off home run in the ninth. J.J. Blade answered with his own walk-off in game number 2, and that set us up for a winner-take-all game 3. And we got extras on a thrilling night in Nashville. Ethan Paul with a game-tying home run for Vandy, and then Tanner Allen go-ahead RBI double started a 4-run inning. The emotion was off the charts. Tim Corbin took note.
I just wish they would realize that when they look at college baseball and understand they won't get this again. This won't happen again. You go off, you play professional baseball, you think that that's something special. You know, not like this.
It's a best Super I've ever been a part of. I remember the last games at the box. It was UC Irvine and LSU years ago, and that was one that always stuck out. But Tommy, you and I did this, and I've never seen back-to-back games in an environment with two teams out of the same league that were as good as those three were.
Every late inning moment had an answer, and that's what made it really stand out. Scotty DeBrule sends it to left field. Here's Cooper Davis chasing and running out of space. That tent back there down in the corner, that was the outdoor classroom for Tim Corbin, right? He loves the classroom. COVID protocol said you can't really be in the classroom, so he said, all right, we're going to find a way to take the classroom outside, and they did. And he is a national champion for a reason. He is, I don't know what the ratio would be, KP, but he might be 50-50 teacher-coach.
I think that's fair. I mean, I can tell you one thing. He wasn't going to lose the classroom. He may have to relocate it, but the classroom wasn't going away. Talked to Jack Leiter's parents today, and the one thing that his mother said is when they were on the recruiting trip and talking to Vanderbilt, the one thing that really stuck out to her was that classroom. Just that there was a teaching and a learning component to it aside from that on the field. There's a lot of things about this program that stick out, but that is one thing that all of these kids will always point back to as a memory. Maybe not always a great memory. May not be their favorite part of the day sometimes, but nonetheless extremely important.
First pitch to Braylon Skinner swung on and missed. I remember years ago talking to Mike Minor when he was with the Braves about his experience at Vanderbilt. He's with the Royals now after bouncing around with the Rangers and A's last season. I said, what kind of influence did Tim Corbin have on you? And he said, you're going to think this is crazy. He said, he taught me how to brush my teeth. 1 and 2. I said, yeah, that's crazy. He goes, but I'm dead serious. I learned more, so much more than baseball from him. Whether it's the importance of making your bed or good dental hygiene, I learned it all. Swing and a miss. A strike from Rodriguez. It's strikeout number 4 for Kumar Rocker.
The breaking ball to get Skinner right here. This one down and out of the zone. He didn't like the breaking ball the first time around. Didn't like it here either. Yeah, that would be another selling point to parents too, is the importance of teaching dental hygiene, especially when it's kids going to college. It's hard to do that, and they've turned out some players now too. Opening day rosters this year, 13 Commodores. That led everybody in the country as far as players on opening day rosters. The SEC had 91 total as a league.
Walker Buehler threw for the Dodgers last night. Lane Forsythe at the plate with a big swing and a miss. It's pitcher heavy, as you might expect. The 0-2. Probably 2 more Commodores from this roster will be in the big leagues fairly soon. Got the inverse of your haircut. Swing and a miss. Forsythe goes down. It's the 5th K for Kumar Rocker. He's pitching with the lead. Like bad jokes, it's almost not fair. To Omaha, take you back to 2019 College World Series winners bracket game. Both teams 1-0. Rocker 6 innings in his College World Series debut. Vandy got some help from Steven Scott. He homered twice. And it's just one more postseason experience between these two teams.
Just the week before, Rocker had burst on the national scene, struck out 19 against Duke in the Super Regional, threw a no-hitter, and that kept Vandy's season alive. Fast forward 2 weeks later, he's the most outstanding player at the College World Series and a national champ.
You mentioned that he exploded on the scene in that game against Duke in the Super. I'm kind of rewinding here because we didn't have much of a season at all last year. I don't know if any games even got on TV. So 2019 was the last we saw. Go back for me in your mind before that super regional appearance. What were your impressions of Kumar Rocker prior to the no-hitter, and how they changed since, or how did they change that night?
Well, remember the way that that they kind of groomed him as the season went on, and this is one thing that Tim Corbin, Scott Brown have a history of doing. Even the high-profile guys, Rocker was that, Jack Leiter was clearly that. They're usually not starting the first weekend. A lot of times they're not starting any of the first few weekends. And Kumar was the exact same way. It took a few weeks.
Left side, Forsythe, long throw.
Play the game, man. Play the game. I mean, it starts where he's positioned, and he's positioned deep into that 6-hole, but Lane Forsythe, this is smooth. Shift on, shortstop all the way over there. Freshman made a tough play look really easy. Defensive positioning helped, but Rocker was getting better as the season went on. And I don't know that anybody could have said, yeah, he's going to go punch out 19 and throw a no-hitter in an elimination game in supers, but he was becoming dominant and then just blew right through the door. Then you do that, and from a confidence standpoint, it was over the charts when he got to Omaha.
Bulger 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Stone Simmons able to work with a clean inning now after striking out Carter Young with a couple on to end the fourth. Out of play. Simmons is a Texas native. Was a dominant pitcher on the private school circuit out of the Kincaid School. Had a .41 ERA as a senior. So last year as a freshman at Furman, he took over the #1 role week 2 of the season. And then the season ended. Curveball pulled on the ground. Here's Forsythe again. 2 down.
The catcher number 5,
C.J. Rodriguez has 2 hits for the Doors in this game. And he looks at a first pitch curveball for a strike. Important series will finish up tonight in Columbia. South Carolina lost game 1 to Arkansas last night. They took the second game of the series 6-2 today. In the nightcap, Arkansas leads 5-1 in the top of the 8th. They moved that game 3 up because of the weather that's coming through tomorrow. Check swing. Didn't go. As far as potential national seeds or hosts is concerned, a missed opportunity for Pittsburgh this weekend. They were supposed to travel to #7 Louisville, but COVID protocol will keep that series from happening. Against a shift, he slices it the opposite way, and it sneaks by Hatcher. C.J. Rodriguez has a 3-for-3 night.
Professional hitter right here. Fastball on the outer third of the plate. Rodriguez, even though they got him played to the pull side, shoots it just past Hatcher for a 2-out single here in the 5th.
And so Parker Nolan coming up. Impressive win last night for LSU. A come from behind victory. Freshman Dylan Cruz had a 2-run home run in the 7th to take game 1 from Ole Miss. They lead 1-0 in the 6th in game 2. Now it's 2-0. Watch out for LSU. They're getting ready to go on one of those patented second half of the conference play runs.
They need it. The first half, they're a 4-11. And then you have to go to Ole Miss. If you can take a series right there, which you just need for wins right now, because it's, I mean, that magic number in this league, if you get to 15 wins in the league, you're going to get the postseason historically. You get to 14, there's some sweating, and they got a lot of work to get there.
Parker Nolan with a strikeout and a ground out. Snap throw to first. Logan Tanner is a magician back there.
The arm angles that you'll see, I mean, he looks like a shortstop throwing. Look at this. That's down under now. Hatcher bailed him out, but he had as impressive a throw as I've seen from a catcher to second base a few weeks ago. One hop sidearm around the hitter. That was a strike, and to strike him out, throw him out to end the inning. I think they called interference, but I don't really care because he threw him out anyway.
Line drive, that's down for a knock. C.J. Rodriguez headed to third. Skinner digs it out of the corner, and Vandy's got two in scoring position. A hustle double for Parker Nolan down the line.
Two quick outs to start the inning. Two good opposite field approaches. C.J. Rodriguez singled to right on a fastball out away from him. This time Nolan takes a breaking ball, shoots it to the left. Two more in scoring position for the Doors after they started with 2 outs, nobody on.
Isaiah Thomas drove in a pair, first pitch swinging last time up. And he lays off the breaking ball, 1-0. Big series in Conference USA. Charlotte knocked off Old Dominion 5-4 tonight. Get things started.
Both those teams top 20. Conference USA, Louisiana Tech's off to a great start. And Old Dominion came back, won the nightcap, beat them 9-5, so they've split the first two in that series 1-1.
What's going to be really odd about Conference USA is they're all playing different schedules.
And from a strength of schedule, very different schedules.
We will know the regional host sites earlier this season than we ever have. 1-2 is a curveball hit to short. Forsythe's got it on a short hop. And that'll do it in the fifth. Vandy gets a couple of hits, but they strand a pair. 5 innings in the book. State needs some offense. They've only mustered 2 hits against Kumar Rocker. I have relatives there, Dari. My pen pals. Josh Hatcher to lead off the 6th. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Kumar Rocker has allowed 2 hits to Rowdy Jordan. Those are the only 2 hits of the game so far for Mississippi State. Chopper up the middle. Young. 1 down. And here's Rowdy Jordan. He has been sensational against top opponents. He has reached base in all 16 games against ranked opponents. 5 multi-hit games, including the 2 hits against Rocker tonight. Senior from Auburn. And one of the most unique trends in college baseball is Rowdy Jordan's slow starts, then meeting up with a trip to his hometown and catching fire. Home cooking. In 2018, he hit .375 against Auburn. He's a career like .370 hitter against the Tigers, and that first year he hit .392 following the Auburn series. 2019 he hit .345 after the series. You know what they should have done is they should have just moved the Auburn series to like February 12th.
Go out of conference to start it with Auburn and then play them during the season.
Rowdy, we're putting the Tigers here pretty early. Get going early. First 3-ball count of the night from Kumar Rocker. Here's the payoff. Swung at ball 4. What makes that fastball so tempting?
It's because how good the breaker ball is and he tunnels it. So that curveball, that slide, he calls it a slider. It moves more like a curveball, but whatever. It's really good, and that's the issue. So think about this, Tom Hart. Ryan Weathers goes 5 2/3 last night against the Dodgers. Ryan Weathers would have been in this rotation. 2018 drafted. Had committed and signed to Vanderbilt. It would have been Weathers, Rocker, and Leiter. Yes, it would have. In this rotation, Ryan Weathers at 21 last night goes 5 2/3, gives up 1 hit against the Dodgers. This is the best 1-2 punch in the country. That maybe would have been the best rotation that we have ever seen in college baseball.
Ever. Rice had 3 go in the first round under Wayne Graham about a decade ago, but that is something else. Tanner Allen is 0 for 2 in this game. It goes hand in hand with what Tim Corbin told the Lighters when they were recruiting Jack. He said, listen, look around, see what else is out there. We're not sure that we're going to have the innings that you demand if he comes here.
I also think that comment in the history of this place is what draws real competitors to it too, because you know that there's going to be a bunch of dudes around you. This is over the course of the season. Leiter a sub-1 ERA, Rocker a sub-2 ERA.
Hit him. And Kumar not happy that one got away from him. He just overcooked it. I don't know if it got him in the calf or the Achilles.
Yeah, I think it hopefully it was on that heel, because at least there's a little padding. I thought it was his Achilles. It was on the inside part of the or outside part of the foot. There's not a whole lot. That pad comes down, but it stops. What's that foot? He turns it in, but then it gets him right on top of it, kind of close to where the little toe is.
Third hit batter of the season for Rocker.
For the Bulldogs, third baseman, number 6, Cameron James.
That little toe might be a little bit bigger right now. And Tanner Allen's going to take a jog to see if he can stay in the game.
Come on, Barry, I want to hear you. Come on.
You know, Kumar Rocker he's a big dude. And a lot of times when we talk about tall pitchers especially, we discuss the fact that mechanics can be tough to repeat. And that, it doesn't really come up with this guy because he's so good. And he gets right back at it.
Yeah, what's lost in it, I think, when you look at it over the course of the season, 55 innings, he's only walked 15, he's punched out 81 coming in. So it is power, it is a ton of swing and miss, but it's also a lot of control that harnesses that power. Rare that you see at this level when it's a guy throwing 97, 98 miles an hour with a wipeout slider that's as good a breaking ball as there is in the entire country. And he's walking less than 3 per 9. That's a lethal combination.
He's 6'5", 245 pounds. The 0-2 to Cameron James. Curveball fell off the mound, didn't matter. He spun it in for his 7th strikeout. Yeah, You can smile about it, especially when this is the result. It's like a carnival ride. Wee! Tilt-a-whirl and James looking. Everybody has fun at the fair. Oh, I can't wait.
That sound good.
Cooper Davis with a fly out to left. Dari, here's my promise to you. Snacks in my suite post game.
Who's buying?
I'll
you're
bring
not
it.
buying.
No, I'll bring it.
There's no way you're going to buy when you're there.
Bring it, no. I'll bring it with me. Okay. I'll bring a truck full and party in my place.
All right. Is just Dari? Might you invite me or Berkey or anybody else? Or just
everybody. Come on. Everybody's invited. There's Jason Gonzalez at the plate. Gonzalez, the .307 hitter with 6 home runs. Didn't play last year. Was not enrolled at Vanderbilt. And in his plan to come back, he found some unique ways to continue to work out, stay in baseball shape. He's a workout fanatic. He got really into boxing.
If you had to pick a sport to say what type of shape that you're in right now, just talk about baseball shape. What sport shape are you in?
That's a great question. Wiffle ball. I am in wiffle ball shape right now.
I'm in bowling shape.
You see the story about the bowler who lost his dad and he drilled a hole in the bowling ball, put dad's ashes in the ball, and the first time out he bowled a perfect game. My kid tried that. It'd go straight in the gutter. Full count to Gonzalez. By the way, do you think Tim Corbin is the only coach whose coaching tree includes a bowling coach who's won national titles?
Can't be many.
John Williamson, former director of operations for the Vandy baseball team. Now he's got his own trophy. So Simmons strikes out Jason Gonzalez, 2 down.
So one thing Simmons will show you, it is a plus breaking ball. The fastball's low 90s. You go Friday night starter as a freshman anywhere in the country, and Verman was not a bad baseball program. Just funding ended up getting them. You can see why this stuff plays, and I think the advantage for State now is he can go out and get you more than 2 outs. He could take you through 3 or 4 innings if you need him to.
Enrique Bradfield with an RBI single last time up. Forsythe gonna have to hurry. Got him. What a play at short. Threw out one of the fastest base runners in baseball.
You know you got to get rid of it right here, but I have been impressed by the freshman Forsythe all night. Backhand play, seed to first, a scoreless 6, but still all Vanderbilt.
Tonight.
Only blemish right at the beginning. Rowdy Jordan leadoff double in the first, came around to score, and then the adrenaline really kicked in for Kumar Rocker. First strikeout of the game was in the second, 1 punch out in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 2 in each of the fifth and the sixth. And the pitch count has stayed low through 6 innings, just 71 pitches, and a first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike here in the 7th.
Last Friday, Tennessee, 2 hits over 7 shutout innings. 2 hits over 6 thus far tonight against another top 5 foe. Luke Hancock at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. You spent some time around the Rocker family this week. What did you learn about his upbringing that impacts who he is on the mound?
You know, it's interesting. I asked Tracy and Lou, his mom and dad, this week. Like, just explain him as a kid. What was he like as a kid? And they both just said happy. Like every day when he woke up, he was just happy.
It's a good thing to be.
And he flashes that smile, and it's a smile that immediately will light up a room. But then we started talking about the emotion that we've seen more out of. His freshman year, I didn't feel like we saw a ton of emotion. We've seen more emotion from Kumar this year. And Tracy said, yeah, man, I hadn't really seen until this year. But when he gets it going right now, and we saw some of it last week in Knoxville for sure, there was plenty of emotion in that one.
To short. Carter Young. 2 down.
Second baseman, number 3.
He's also become a leader on this staff. Tim Corbin, Scott Brown were telling a story that when Jack Leiter showed up through his first bullpen in the fall last year, Kumar was walking by and stopped. And had heard about Jack, but really hadn't seen the stuff. And immediately looked at Scott Brown and went, how'd you get this one here? Knowing that there was a pretty good chance that they were going to pitch on the weekend together for the next 2 years. Now both draft eligible and a chance to be the first college teammates to ever go 1-2 in the draft. And they've become cheerleaders for each other. And there's a lot of healthy competition. Leiter charts the nights that Kumar throws, so he gets a chance to see the way that he goes after these offensive lineups. And I think both have really learned a lot from each other.
Back to work, the 1-2.
Seven strikeouts and still that pitch count. I mean, with 2 outs here in the 7th inning, right at 80.
Into left center. Bradfield's got plenty of speed, but Davis will handle it. Another 1-2-3 frame. Kumar Rocker has held state to just 2 hits. Yeah, no mistaking where we are, is there?
That'll work.
What an incredible sports town and entertainment town. By the way, speaking of entertaining, it's a top 20 softball showdown. Missouri against their border rival Arkansas Sunday 4 o'clock Eastern. They'll finish the series Monday on the SEC network. That game starts at 7 Eastern. SEC softball also available on the app all season, so you can watch anywhere. Carter Young to lead off the 7th for Vanderbilt. Every time I come to town, there's something new. There were new hotels down on Lower Broadway. We got here for the basketball tournament. Good place if you like cranes. Breaking ball inside.
It feels like there's more tower cranes in this town than any city that you'll go to right now.
They found Carter Young in Sella, Washington. And he sends this one deep to left field, but Skinner is there for a reaching grab. 1 down. Look at that. You don't have to look far.
Another one in the background.
For the Commodores, first baseman number 12, Dominic Keegan.
Dominic Keegan coming to the plate. It's symbolic the way that Tim Corbin has built this program. Just consider the two. Mississippi State, its incredible history going back before the 80s, but really the heart of it coming in the mid-80s with Thunder and Lightning. And Vanderbilt, essentially an afterthought, and now they are a perennial national champion contender. Every year, there seem to be a handful of players from Tim Corbin's old stomping ground on the roster, and Dominic Keegan would be one of those representatives this season. He's from Methuen, Mass, out of Central Catholic High School. And he was originally committed to Virginia Tech. Hokies fired Coach Pat Mason. And an opportunity to play at Vanderbilt opened up. A couple of notable people from Methuen, Steve Bedrosian and Robert Frost, who once had a lover's quarrel with the world. That's a lesson for today. 2-2.
I did not have Steve Bedrosian getting into the show tonight. That was not on my bingo card. That was well dropped.
Yet you had Robert Frost.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Frost is given. I mean, that's just kind of the way that you roll. But I didn't know that Bedrosian could find his way in. That was when I was a Braves fan.
The designated hitter.
What happened?
16, Jack.
Somebody else drafted me, gave me money. Ended up changing my mind a little bit. Ted Turner didn't sign the check. Somebody else did. So I became a Brewer fan.
Here's Jack Bulger. Do you think you're the only former Brewer player that has gone down Bernie's slide?
There can't be many, can there? I'm also the only former Brewer that almost went down Bernie's slide and ended up in the 8th row at Miller Park.
What'd you learn about the viscosity of the slide and your dress pants that night?
Like I had a suit on, and it was like the Chevy Chase scene in Christmas Vacation where he throws like whatever it was on the bottom of the circle sled and goes zipping down, and it felt like that. And I too hopped at the bottom of that slide. There was some of those the tension wires that were across to stop you from going in, and I put a little tension in the tension wires when I came down. Only once. You only do that one once. We were on Bonds' watch because when Bonds was hitting all the home runs, it took Bonds out of the game, and it was like, all right, sideline guy, what are you going to do that's interesting now? I'll go down the slide and almost go in the stands. How's that work for you? Got my hair cut one day on the air at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Shortest episode in the history of American television.
Yeah, that took all of about 2 outs.
Lifted to shallow center. Jordan is there. I didn't know they had a barber at Busch. We got 7 innings in the books. Mississippi State has only handled Rocker twice. They're down 3. This one, 2 hits in the second column for Mississippi State. Vandy got plenty of offense, all of it in the 4th, as a matter of fact. Chasing starter Christian McLeod. Rowdy Jordan 2 of 3. The rest of his teammates 0 for 20.
Once again, it's a game summary that summarized the game, and you did it well right there. I've seen more of that one tonight from Kumar than I did in his last start. It's the cutter, and the cutter's going to be 88, 89 miles an hour. That is going to be a weapon for him. Fastball of 94 right there, and that had a little bit of extra on it right there. Pinch hitter here for State. But I like the cutter. That's a new addition this year for Kumar, and it just expands that arsenal. There it was.
Kite McDonald down to the count, punches his chest, says I'm going to focus on a 2-strike approach. What would your 2-strike approach against Rocker be?
You got to protect against the fastball because of the velo. There goes another cutter right there too. But I think it's go back old school, shorten up, and just try to get yourself something on the green. 3 cutters in this at bat. Let's see if he comes back with a big breaking ball.
Line in the 2-2. Popped it up. It'd be a long run for Nolan, but Thomas is there. Well, down, and here's Lane Forsythe. We're talking about Forsythe's defense. It has been sensational so far tonight. He's a freshman from Humboldt, Tennessee at a Trinity Christian Academy. They've had a pretty good run at short over the last 4 years or so.
Yeah, and I think the question with Forsythe is just how far the bat is going to go, because the glove plays now, and the glove is going to play. I mean, he really looks the part of an SEC shortstop. Plenty of arm, smooth to the backhand side.
Popped up to center field in the third, struck out swinging in the fifth. Rocker nearing 90 pitches. He's gone 100 or more 3 times this season, including 2 games ago against Georgia. To Carter Young. Quick release. 2 down.
Great footwork there by Young. Recognized the hop, waited back on it a little bit, but then realized the transfer had to be a little bit quick. Watch the break. Starts to come in and then holds that, but still knows he has to get rid of it fairly quickly to get Forsythe going down the line. It was a quick transfer to get that baseball into his bare hand. And at least so far, another efficient inning for Kumar Rocker here in the 8th.
Kellum Clark will pinch hit. Freshman's homered once this season. Chases the high fastball, 0-1. I don't know if there's anything to figure out against a guy like Kumar Rocker, but I think it's harder on your team when you go to pinch hitters and they have to face him for the first time.
Yeah, that's fair, because he can do a lot to you. That time to break a ball in there for strike 2. It's just hard to prepare for the stuff. I mean, he's a 4-pitch guy now. He's a 4-pitch guy that can go up to 97 with a wipeout slider.
1-2. Wanted the fastball high and got it exactly where they wanted it, but Clark laid off. That was weird. Clark, a freshman from Brandon, Mississippi. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. 95th pitch of the game results in his 8th strikeout. Number 80 is K8 so far tonight. It's a 4-1 lead for Vanderbilt as we go to the home half of the 8th inning. Kumar Rocker once again the story of this one. Game 1 of this 3-game series. It'll continue tomorrow. We'll be right back here to televise that one as well. Brad Cumbest will enter the game in left field. Hey, nice to meet you. And Kellum Clark stays in the game, will play first. C.J. Rodriguez is 3 for 3 in this game. Last 2 home games, a perfect 7 for 7. Had a 4 for 4 game against Eastern Kentucky. And that was before going to Tennessee and struggling through a 2 for 10 weekend.
Two-0 breaking ball take right here. Just a little bit off.
And it's a 4-pitch walk. Rodriguez has reached safely off 4 plate appearances. Stone Simmons has given Chris Lemonis exactly what he's needed tonight after Christian McLeod didn't make it out of the 4th. Simmons has filled the role of long relief, 3 1/3.
Well, this is a bullpen that's as deep as anybody in the country. State can roll out arm after arm that is power arm. Landon Sims is as good a back-end bullpen guy as there is in the nation. 47 strikeouts in 24 1/3. So there are bullets and plenty of options in that State bullpen. And this gives Chris Lemonis the ability to use him about however he wants to the back end of this series. That's the thing, man. It's not. It doesn't ruin your weekend if you lose on Friday night. But if you lose on Friday night and you use 6 guys out of the bullpen, that's a whole different approach the next 2 days.
Parker Nolan doubled his last time up. Thanks in large part to the strength of their bullpen, Mississippi State comes in to this weekend with very similar numbers to Vandy's. Vandy first in ERA, first in WHIP, 5th in strikeouts. State 3rd in ERA, 2nd in WHIP, and leading the league in strikeouts. Ball belted right field, a sinking line drive that gets down, and Vandy's got runners at first and second with nobody out.
The second time most of these guys from Vanderbilt are seeing Stone Simmons. This breaking ball just coming right back in towards the barrel. The left-handed hitter puts a good swing on it. Lead-off walk. Now the single from Nolan. Vandy looking to expand that lead here in the 8th inning. First 2 guys on.
Isaiah Thomas is 1 for 3. And we'll get a visit to the mound. They'll go to the bullpen. Vanderbilt leads Mississippi State. Chase Patrick making his 12th appearance of the year. He's only thrown 8 innings to this point.
A little bit different look than you saw from Stone Simmons. Patrick, upper 80s, really good changeup, lower arm slot. You can see too, he's not using a whole lot of that pitching rubber. The toe was the only thing on there. You just got to have something touching it. He barely does, but part of a deep Mississippi State pen. Although he's only thrown 8 innings this year, those 8 innings have been really efficient. 6 punch outs, hadn't walked anybody. And I think with that slot and that changeup, part of the thought right here from Chris Lemonis is to try to steal 2 outs with 1 pitch, see if he can roll double play.
Through Tuesday against UAB, Mississippi State, as good as they've been on the mound, I mentioned the fact that they lead the league in strikeouts coming into tonight, and they're close to matching or extending their well, they have extended their school record double-digit strikeouts. They got 10 Ks now through 7+, but they're not an exceptional defensive team. 11th in the league in errors, 11th in the conference in fielding percentage. Here's Isaiah Thomas. And a bunt. Patrick looks to third, goes back to first, and in time for the sacrifice for Thomas, but both runners advance. No question why Chris Lemonis wants to go to Patrick in this moment. Despite limited innings, he stranded 14 of the 19 inherited runners he's had this year.
You're going to do that. I may think about walking Davis right here. And I know offensively, look at the numbers. Never mind. I'm going to take that back. I wouldn't do it. He's hitting 220 on the year. So can we cut that out of the edited version? Like that didn't even happen. I didn't say that.
I'm just curious.
Okay.
Did you just win an argument with yourself or lose an argument with yourself?
I won going away. It wasn't even close.
Ooh, that one hit the umpire and saved a run. Got by Tanner and went off the shin guard of Zach Neff. Otherwise, a run's coming home.
Yeah, this is an assist right here. And looked like a tug changeup. Maybe got around that changeup a little bit because you could see Logan Tanner was sitting on the outside corner, maybe. I mean, almost off the plate right there. And that one pulled all the way to the other side. If it doesn't hit that shin guard from Zach Neff, Vanderbilt's going to add one right there. Fortunate, and really not a lot that Logan Tanner could do.
It's like a missed field goal, as my buddy Vern Lundquist would say, doink. Might have been a double doink. How great was it having Vern back in Augusta?
I was just thinking that very thing. That voice at 16 in Augusta that makes everything right.
Infield in. Cooper Davis won for his last 13. How does the infield in change what Patrick wants to do from an attacking standpoint?
I don't know that it does. I mean, if you get in a swing and miss count, you're still going to try to punch somebody out. And you'll take soft contact on the ground if you can get it. They're staying away to the left-hander. That's the first fastball he's seen. Now he probably goes back to the changeup. It feels like that's what he's most comfortable throwing.
Roller gets through. Rodriguez scores. Coming around third is Nolan. He'll come home. And it's a 2-run single past the drawn in infield. And Vandy's got a 5-run lead.
It was the changeup, and Cooper Davis did a good job of staying on it. You could see down and away they had stayed away from him the entire at bat, but that time keeps the barrel in the zone long enough to stay on it. Drive it out to center field, and with that infield in on the turf, playing natural, normal depth right there. Scotty DeBrule probably gets to that ball, but drawn in, no chance he can. Drives in 2 more for Vandy.
Jason Gonzalez is 0 for 3. Swing and a miss, 0-1. They changed the NFL rules when it comes to numbering, much to Tom Brady's dismay. You don't see a whole lot of 99s in baseball.
No. Judge. Who else you got?
Didn't Manny wear 99?
Maybe like at one point.
Yeah, I think it was when he was with the Dodgers. We got a Turk Wendell mention in our ears.
So Taguchi. I don't think you were pulling So Taguchi out right there.
There was
for the record.
There was a Cardinals game a few years ago where So scored all the way from first on a shot to the outfield. He was met in the dugout by 2 of the trainers. One bowed and said, "So good." Throw to second. Got him.
You can't run on this cat, man.
No,
you can't. I'll get you back to So in a minute, but this Logan Tanner can just flat out throw. I mean, it's a good one for a catcher to throw, but that's a seed down to second base. He's now thrown out more this year. He's thrown out 9 of 17 guys that have tried to steal. That is a huge defensive number for Mississippi State.
Anything better than 40% in college is elite. And so the story will wait. 6-1 Vanderbilt leads, and Kumar Rocker coming out for the 9th. Number 2 Vandy over 4th-ranked Mississippi State, with Kumar Rocker's parents watching from the stands. They will watch as he throws in the 9th inning for just the 2nd time in his college career. The previous moment was June 9th of 19, when he threw a no-hitter in a super regional win against Duke. And his first pitch to Rowdy Jordan misses upstairs. Rowdy Jordan is 2 for 3 in this game. He is the only Bulldog with a hit. Only 2 have reached base. That means Rocker's faced only 3 over the minimum. The 2-0. High to right field, but not deep. Isaiah Thomas. 1 down.
Right fielder, number 5, Jimmy Allen.
Kumar Rocker has struck out 8 in this game. They've got a couple guys getting loose in the Vandy pen, Fisher and Maldonado. What has made Kumar Rocker so efficient as he will now throw his 100th pitch?
Well, he hadn't gone 3-ball count on basically anybody. I mean, it's, I think, maybe 2 the entire night for Kumar. So that's part of it. He's thrown strike 1 a lot. You throw strike 1 a lot, it gives you the ability to get outs by not going deep into counts.
Another early swing, and here's Thomas again. Lost his hat, found the ball, 2 down.
With 2 outs, third baseman number 6, Cameron James.
And that'll bring Cameron James to the plate. Rocker an out away from his second ever complete game. He threw 116 pitches on March 19th against South Carolina when he struck out 14. Short rest the next week against Missouri. That's when his velocity went down a tad. James, first pitch swinging. Beautiful backhand, but Gonzalez threw it away. Off the bricks, it went over the railing. It'll result in an extra base for Cameron James, a 2-base error for Jason Gonzalez.
The designated hitter.
Probably doesn't have to get rid of it this early either. I mean, Gonzalez had plenty of time. That time quick on the transfer, maybe a little bit too quick. Couldn't find a clean handle on it. Threw it about halfway up that net down the right field line, so it looked like it would end it. Now stayed here with life right in the middle of this lineup.
Here's Luke Hancock. Mississippi State has 2 wins when trailing after the 8th inning this season. _4th pitch. Slice foul. They look comfortable. They're going to be watching a lot of games.
Yes, they are.
Runner at second for the first time since Rowdy Jordan's double in the first. Curveball in for a strike. Hancock is 0 for 3. Ooh, boy.
Close. C.J. Rodriguez tries to go get it. He took it a little bit further out of the zone, but it missed low, but it didn't miss low by much.
2-2 pitch to Luke Hancock. Curveball hit to short. Nobody was there. They had the shift on around third as Cameron James. They'll wave him home. And Mississippi State keeps it going in the 9th with a Luke Hancock single. 107 pitches.
If you're not peeking behind you, if you're Kumar, the minute that this comes off the bat, you're thinking that's an out. And then you can see he spins and looks at it, and when he turns around, there's nobody there. Carter Young, the shortstop, was pinched to the pull side on the shift. It goes an RBI single, and State keeps this lineup going. I would think if he doesn't get Tanner here, I think that's probably it. I think then you go to the pen. Kumar still with a chance to finish this one out himself.
Fly ball center field. Bradfield and Kumar Rocker with his second complete game in his Vanderbilt career. Mom to her feet, Dad says just another game. 8 strikeouts, 3 hits. Come on. He leads the nation and wins. He's 9-1.
Do it the entire time. Tracy he'd been standing enough today. He didn't want to stand anymore. Just sit and watch the end of it. Another really good one for Kumar Rocker. Rowdy Jordan reaches with a leadoff double, scored in the first. The next time that Mississippi State scored a run was in the 9th, and Cameron James reached on an error. Game 1 win for Vandy. A good one tomorrow, too. Will Bednar goes for Mississippi State. Jack Leiter out there for Vandy. We'll have game 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, can't wait. That's 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central on ESPNU. SEC Championship soccer team is here. Mississippi State with a slow offensive start. Their ace lasted 3 2/3. Rocker was everything promised. Bradfield bailed him out early. And Vandy will go for the series win tomorrow. For Kyle Peterson, our fantastic crew here at Vanderbilt, I'm Tom Hart. Vandy wins this one. Let's get you to the studio. Here's Dari.